just heard a demo of 4 brand new pedals from LSL Instruments. If you're not familiar with LSL, definitely go check them out. They've been building fantastic guitars since 2008. One thing to note about their guitars is that they're not parts casters. They build the necks and bodies in-house, hand-shaped necks. And I have to say, everyone that I've played has been fantastic. LSL has released 4 pedals kind of jumping into this market. They've got the Claro Boost, the OD, the Lucid Overdrive, and the Vital DS, or Vital Distortion. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the specifics on each of these. I think that they're all fairly straightforward, and that most of you guys just looking at them will understand the basic controls. Today, we're going to listen to some solo clips of each pedal, and then I'll give you some brief thoughts on each one, as well as just kind of an overarching review of the entire line. First up is the Lucid Overdrive. This was probably maybe my favorite. I say maybe because it was probably between this and the Vital Distortion. This is a Klon style overdrive, and you know, true to form, pretty straightforward. The only thing to note on this one is that the tone control actually works backwards like a true Klon, where it's as you turn it up, it gets darker, and as you turn it down or counterclockwise, it gets brighter. Now, the thing that I liked about this is that it sounds great. It has kind of that slight mid-range push that a Klon style typically has, but this one doesn't get muddy like some Klons I've played. I feel like sometimes that mid-range presence, that weight that the Klon style adds, this does that, but it's not over the top like others that I've played. And it just sounds really great, super responsive, everything you'd expect from a great Klon. Next up is the Vital DS, or Vital Distortion. Now, I have to say, this one really surprised me. This is not a typical style of pedal that I play a lot. I don't play a lot of distortion pedals, and so when I initially plugged this in, it just felt almost over the top. It was a lot more gain than what I'm used to playing. But after messing with it a little bit and kind of getting used to it, I actually really like this one. This and the Lucid are probably my 2 favorites. The thing that I like probably the best about this is the 3-band EQ. It's got treble, middle, and bass, and that just added a lot of flexibility, gave me some different kinds of tones. I really like where the mid-range sits. It's kind of got this upper mid bite to it. And I used this one actually on the demo more than any other pedal, just because I love the tones that I was getting out of it, and it was really versatile. Everything from just big, you know, almost heavier sounding guitars to even the last little solo part with the Strat. It was almost like a Jeff Beck type thing. Really singy, really sustainy. The OD is kind of your typical tube screamer type circuit. It's got a switch for the bass. You can have a kind of normal tube screamer roll off, and then as you go to 1 and 2, you get additional bass. This adds a lot of flexibility and something that I really like in a tube screamers type pedal, just the ability to have more or less bass. One of the magic things about a tube screamer is that it rolls off a little low end. It can tighten up an already overdriven sound, or you know, if you want more bass, you can have it just to have that full range sound. The OG gives you those legendary tube screamer sounds in a pretty compact and straightforward package. That's something I haven't talked about yet. These pedals are kind of on the smaller side, which is great if you've got a smaller board and you're trying to fit them in, but they've got, you know, they've got some weight to them. They're well made, super solid. last up is the Claro Boost. Now, this is kind of a colored boost, what I consider to be a colored boost. It's fairly clean, but it adds just a touch of clarity, a touch of top end that just sits really nice, and it's kind of one of those sounds that you wonder if you just want to leave it on all the time. Another thing that I really dug about the Claro Boost is that it doesn't have an excess amount of gain on tap. For me, it's never really a selling point when a pedal manufacturer says, you know, this boost pedal has 40 dB of gain or something like that. To me, it just makes them almost hard to control. You know, they're really sensitive, and that is not the case with the Claro Boost. I think maybe about halfway or so is the kind of unity gain, and then as you go up from there, it boosts the signal, obviously. I don't recall how much gain this has on tap, but I love the fact that it's not super sensitive, but I've got plenty there to really hit the front end of an amp and push it into overdrive. Overall, I think this is a great offering from LSL. You've got classic tones with a classic look. I think the quality is definitely on point. The knobs feel really solid. The switches, everything about them just feels really quality and well built. I think some are initially going to be missing some uniqueness from this line. There's not necessarily something that this line offers that's vastly different than what's already available. But I think, again, tying back into that term classic, these are just classic pedals that are well built, that are going to be really straightforward, you know, for anybody to kind of jump into, and they're offered at a great price point as well. If you guys have watched the channel for a little while, then you know that I love gear that's straightforward and easy to use, and these definitely fit the bill. They sound great, and I wouldn't hesitate to grab any of them if I'm looking for some classic sounds. That's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Check the links in the description for more info on these pedals and where to get them, as well as more info on LSL instruments. All right, until next time, I'll see you out there.